You want it? Okay. So today here we are going to discuss the TMA for M257. Now before I start the discussion, the TMA, as you see when you download the TMA, you get this zip file in which there is a folder called M257 TMA in which you have a NetBean project. This is a NetBean project. Okay, you have to copy this folder into your NetBean projects. Sorry. Yeah. So now here you must use the same NetBean project that is attached with the TMA. You can put it on the default location of NetBean project under the Windows 7. For example, over here, if I open the NetBean projects, it will be, I think, in the documents, right? Yeah, you have the NetBean projects. Here you have to copy your folder, your NetBean project. So what the project I have to copy over here is this one. Copy over here. Okay. Now this has the SRC in which there are two packages. One is my library, one is PK1. My library has these classes, these 4 classes, and PK1 has these 2 classes. Okay, close window and secret code. Okay, now your question here is okay, the next is you have to copy what you write, all the code, what you write you have to copy into a Word file. At the same time you have to take the snapshot of the outputs, what the output you will get, take the screenshot of it and put it in the same Word file. So you have 2 files now, one is NetBean project, one is the Word file. You have to submit on the 2 submission links. One is the regular link in which you have to submit the NetBean project. Another is the Turnitin link. You have to submit the Word project. Now, the project will download it from the LMS. You put it there, you make all the setting changes, and then you complete it and send it on the document. Yeah. Okay. Now here there are 4 parts in this question. There are 4 parts in this in the TMA, which is given over here: part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. You have to solve it one by one. Okay. Now let us start with the part 1. Part 1 is very simple. You have to give the version of JDK and the IDE. IDE is your NetBean. What is the version of NetBeans you are using, and what is the version of JDK you are using with the NetBean? You can find JDK is the Java development kit, Java version. From control panel? You can find from the control panel if you go to the Java. There is several numbers in our version. Which one is the JDK? No, you will not find several numbers over there. You can find JDK 1.2, 1.3, 1.8, something like this. Does not just show us how to. You have to get it from the control panel. Yes. Okay. Definitely you find Java. Upstairs, and then about. Or you can print it about. Yeah, it is JDK 1.8. Version 8. Update 5. Yeah, version 8, update 5. Now you have to find which. Yeah. Or I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you got to know? Now you see, you have to go to the control panel. Control panel, you see the control panel? Okay. You take it from, sorry. Control panel and you have Java. So you click on Java, you will get it. Get the about, you have the version 8 update file. The same fashion, you have to go to the NetBeans. Okay, it will not show here the NetBeans. NetBeans is an IDE. So you go to the NetBean file, okay, and check what is the version of that NetBean, which is over here. Might be, I don't know exactly, that you may get from the properties. Yeah, IDE 8.0. This is your version. Okay, this, yeah, you have to write both the versions of JDK and IDE. This is your part 1. Clear? Now coming to the part 2, starting from the part 2 and part 3, you have to use this package, what is given to you. Okay, that is my library. Okay, and PK1, the two packages what is given to you in your TMA. You have in this one the two, my library and PK1. Okay, now part 2, let us read. Open this project in NetBeans IDE, open my library package, open this secret code, and you have to read what is this written in this secret code library. In this there is nothing. You have in the secret code library, yeah, yes please, do you have anything? It's okay, you write, yeah, version 8, yes, yeah, as it. Okay, welcome. Okay, now here you have, okay, this is a secret library class. In this you have there is a static variable letters. Okay, it's a array of letters A, B, C, D, A to Z, and there is a get letter for the digit. Get letter for the digit will return you the letter of digit, that is which letter. For example, for 0 it will return you A, for 1 it will return A. So, and there is a get digit. If you supply the character, it will return you the digit. For example, for A it will return 0, for B it will return 1. Okay, it will return you the digit. Okay, now this, and finally you have a display menu in which there is a three menu: encrypt word, decrypt word, exit, and enter your choice. This is what you have in the secret code library. Now what you have to do is you are required to add a new class, part1.java. Just make it as part2.java, not part1, because you are in part2. Part2.java in pk1 package. So in package 1, you create a new Java file called part2.java, in which you write the code as given here. Part2 point, a class has a method, and you write a class, public class part2.java. It has a method string encrypt word, string plain word, comma int key. So you write a method with this specification: encrypt word, plain word, int key. And what does this method will do? It has two argument, plain word, okay, a string of 255 characters, and the key as a integer number from 0 to 25. The, just write a method. No, no, don't mention the 255 character or whatever. No, no need to check for the larger or less than. The plain word as a string of 255 characters. Any word, okay, any text, and a key, a number between 0 to 25. Any text and any key number between 0 to 25. Now the method will use the key to encrypt the plain word, and then method will generate and return the cipher word using Caesar cipher. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Which one? Where the in which? No, it's all up. No, what you mean? The string? Okay. While you enter the word, then when you, yeah. See, the specification is given for which characters over here. It is up to all capital, okay? There is no small over here. So what you have to do is you can just whatever the user enter the, whether small or capital, you can use a function to convert into capital. For example, string dot to upper. To upper function, there is a function called to upper in Java. There is a function called to upper in Java that will convert any given string into uppercase. Any given string into uppercase. So no, yeah, you if it is if there is, you did not mention any condition that you have to enter capital or you have to enter the small, okay, then you have to convert it, or you fix a condition that user will enter only the capital characters, he will not enter the small characters. Yeah, yeah. Now the thing over here is calculating this the encryption and decryption. The Caesar cipher, you have to make search on a Google or on a e-library that how to make a Caesar cipher. The basic idea is in the Caesar cipher is, for example, for any character, okay, to convert into its this one, you take the character, the number for that character plus the key, what you enter the key over here, plus the key modulus with 25. For example, A is 0, let's say key is 3. So it is 0 plus 3 mod 25, which is 3. Okay. Now what is the character for 3? D. So for A it will come D. Yeah. This is the basic one I explained over here. Okay. You can make research search on the Caesar cipher. Sorry. 26, 25 or 26? No, the number of keys is 26 from A to Z, running from 0 to 25. Okay, so it is 0 to 25. See, I believe it is 25, but it's all up to you. You make a research if it is 26 or 25. Okay, so I believe it is 25, not 26. You can make a research. Even might be 26. I don't know exactly, but what according to my knowledge, it is 25, not 26. Because it is starting from 0, it ends with 25. So it should be an. I believe it is 0 to 25. Anyhow, you can make a research on it. You can search in the e-library whether it is 25 or 26. But this is the method. Okay. The same fashion, you have to write another method called decrypt, which will decrypt the encrypted text by passing the key into the plain text. Okay. Now here what you have to do, you have to minus the key and then mod by 25, or it is 26. Okay. The next is you have to write the main method. In the same class you have to write the main method. So in this class you are finding there are three methods. So your class, the given as your class, that is part 2, the part 2. Okay, in this you have these three methods. This one, it is a public static string encrypt word with two arguments. Okay, one method, and the second method is this one, and the third method is the main method. So you have the encrypt method, you have the decrypt method, and you have the main method. Okay, now what you have to do in the main method, you have to call the display menu of secret code library from the my library package, and then ask the user to enter the choice. Now the display method has only up to enter your choice. Enter your choice. Now after this, the user will enter the choice that you have to take in any choice, either 1, 2 or 3. Okay, if it is 3, you have to close the program. It is exit. If it is 1, it will ask the user, if the choice 1 is selected, it will ask the user to enter the text and enter the key. Sorry? Without GUI. This is without GUI. Okay. Okay. Now here, if the user select 1, you have to ask first enter the text and then enter the key. So user will enter the text and enter the key, and you have to use the encryption formula. Okay, you have to get the character. I'm sorry, you have to get the number for the characters of the text, and then you have to add that number with the key, mod with the 25, and then you see what is the character for that number. Okay, so you can use the functions like char at, char at, to get the characters from the text. Char at for example, char at 0 will get you the first character, char at 1 you can put it in a loop, okay, and check whether which one is coming. Okay, and like this you repeat this one till the end of the text, till the length of the text. Start from 0 till the length of the less than I for I is equal to 0, I less than the string length I plus plus. And every time you take the character, and from the you can use the this method to get the digit of that character, get digit of the character. Yeah, you are going to use this method, yeah, to get the digit for the character, and for the digit you need to get the character. Not copy paste, you have to call these methods. Do not copy paste, you have to call these methods. Okay, this is user 1 select. When you use a select 2, then the user has to enter the encrypted text and enter the key. Enter the encrypted text and enter the key. When user enter both, then you have to calculate. Again the same procedure. Get the character plus get the digit of that character minus the key, mod with 25, and what digit you will get the character for that digit and add it to the string. So it will return the plain. If the user select 3, it is exit. You need to close the program. Now after every operation, if the user select 1, you done the operation, again it has to display the menu. Again, so in the while, or when you check the condition in the while loop, you put display again in the last. Display menu. The function display menu. Function display menu. So this is you are required to copy and paste the code of the above class in your Word file and make 3 snapshots for output. One is for entering the encrypted plain text, one is to encrypt the text, one is to decrypt the text, and one for exit. This is about part 2. You have any doubts in the part 2? Nothing. Yes? Type. Okay. Coming to part 3. In part 3, this is graphical user interface. Okay. It is asked you to look for the package 1, pk1 package. It has 2 classes. One is secret code UI.java, another is close window.java. Close window is empty and secret code has some code. This is your secret code.ui. Now what it has is it has an interface. It has an interface in which there is a text. There is a combo box to select the key to enter the text, and there is a button encrypt and decrypt. Okay. Now here it is. There are 2 buttons, encrypt, decrypt button. There is a label called result label, which will show you the encrypted text or the plain text, and it is added to the panel. And what else it has? Label, text field, and the key label, and it has a key box, which is a combo box to select the key from 0 to 25, any key between 0 to 25. So it is having a what is called the interface, in which there is a text, there is a combo box. Yeah, yeah. like this. So this list will have from 0 to 25. Okay, here you enter the text, you select one from here, and then you write there is a button encrypt and there is a button decrypt. So yeah, there is a label result. It will show you the encrypted or decrypted text. Now, part 3.1, in order to react to the button clicks, you are required to modify the class by implementing the action listener interface and developing the code to respond to the following action. If the user clicks on encrypt word button, then the class should encrypt the entered text in the text field with the selected key from J combo box and then display the decrypted text in the J label, resulting the class method encrypt word. Yeah, you have to call the encrypt word method that you have implemented in your class. Okay, so in class in part 2, so you have created the file, the first file part2.java, in which you have written this encrypted method. So there it requires two arguments, one is the text, the other is the key. So you have to the text is given from the text field, the key is taken from the combo box. So both you have to send to this method, and this will return what? This will return a string, an encrypted string that you have to display in the label. This is on first user click. Not copy paste, you have to call that method from that class. So you have to import that package, my library package, or it is there in your pk1 only, I think. Yeah, available in pk1, so no need to import. Hmm. Yeah. Import Java, yeah. In a package. Yeah, no. Yes. The second thing is, if the user click on a decrypt button, again the same thing, it should call the decrypt word method, okay, by passing the text from the text field and the key from the combo box, taken and given to the decrypt, and the label should show the decrypted message. Okay, this is 3.1. 3.2, clicking on the close window icon does not end the program, it simply closes the window, as we seen in the yesterday class. Okay, I showed you there are two methods. Okay, the second method for close window.java, you have to use the window adapter class in order to respond to the listener. Okay, so you have to override the window closing method to close the window icon. This one I have shown in our last slide. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah, you have to write in this class window close this code. This one, in this class you have to write that code. Over here you have to write that code. Okay, import the needed packages. Yeah, override the window closing method. Okay, and do system exit. Yeah. Then part 3.3, in order to clear the text field, in order to clear the text field and the JLabel result, you are required to use the key listener to handle the keyboard event. Now here two listener you are implementing. One is action listener for buttons and key listener to clear the text field and the label. Okay. You have to use override the method key pressed to check whether the delete key has been pressed or not, and then remove the text in the field. The deleted text, the delete key is represented by vk delete. This code is also available, I believe. Yeah, in the keys. Yeah, this one. So you have to implement this, okay, and key pressed if k dot get key code is equal to, then you have to set the text field, huh? In the same class what you are writing this program, this graphical user interface. In part 3. Yeah, in part 3 class. In part 3 class. Okay, this is done for part 3. So part 3 you have to copy and paste all the modified code, the modified classes and all, and make 3 snapshot of the output. One is encrypt, decrypt, and one is clear when you press the delete key. Okay, in the word file. Clear? Now moving ahead to the part 4. Part 4 is bit lengthy. You have classes. You have, I think, 4 classes. Talking about the employee. 8 parts. Yeah. Now you are required to create a new package in the same project by writing in the package name of the package, name it by your name and ID. Then you are required to implement the following classes in that package. That means you write a new class, and in that you write the package name. Okay, as you can see the package names are written in other classes also, like package pk1. So you write package name, your name, for example, Sami underscore your ID number. This is your package, and then you write the class. Yeah. Okay. Then they write the class. Now starting from the classes, first you need to write the public abstract class. Public abstract class employee. It has four variables: ID, full name, hire date, and payment. Okay, the hire date is a variable of class myDate, full name is a variable of class myname, and ID as a string and payment as a double. Now this myname and myDate you can find, I think, in library package. Myname and myDate. MyDate you have to pass the date, day, month, and the year. Okay, how do you create an object of it? That you have to pass these 3. If you don't pass these 3, it will be 0 0 0. Okay. When you create myDate object, myDate d is equal to new myDate of what date you want to pass. Okay, for example, I want to pass 1/1/2015. So this is day, this is month, and this is year. You have to create an object of myDate. Also for this full name, so my name object. Full name, last name. It has 2 things. You have to enter first name and the last name. Okay. Then this class has a method called setEmployee. It has four arguments representing the instance variable, that is ID, full name, and hire date and payment date. Okay. It set the instance variable to the given variable as an argument. It does not return any value. So it will take the four argument and assign the values to these four variables. Yeah, equal, with the help of equal. Then you have getter and the setter methods, that is get ID, get full name, get hire date, get payment. Set ID, set full name, set hire date, and set payment. Then you have two string object method that will display the employee, represent the employee instance variable, that is return ID is equal to get ID or just ID, and full name is equal to get full name or get name, and hire date, and hire date is equal to get hire date or just hire date, and payment is equal to get payment. Then it has an abstract method called calculate full payment. Abstract method, there is no definition for it, you just need to write the abstract method. It has no argument, it calculate and return the payment of the employee. So it will return the payment. Payment is of double, so it return type is double. So you have to write public static double calculate full payment. Public static double static double, because its return type is calculate full payment semicolon. That's it. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you should print all these four variables. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Payment is. I'll I will come back to that. I'm I'm going to the next part. Okay. After this, you need to copy and paste the above code in your Word file. Moving ahead to the 4.3, it's a morning employee class which inherits employee. Okay. And the class has one private variable called day, which is an integer. Okay. Which represent the working days of the employee. Zero argument constructor with a default constructor or its super class, that is for the employee. So you can just say a super. Okay. Super of its value. Then the class has a multi-argument constructor that set the value of its instance variable to the given value. It should invoke the set employee from the super class. Now in this constructor, you need to call the set employee and pass the ID, the the name, and the hire date and the salary. Okay, of the employee. What are these four? Sorry, the payment. These four values. Okay. Then the class overrides the toString method in order to return a string representation of morning employee instance. It should invoke the superclass toString method as morning employee name, date, days and payment. Now what is yeah morning employee? Yeah, yeah, okay. Hmm. Hmm. See, it's yeah, I got your point. You are telling that in this super string method in the super class, you don't want to print the payment. You just want to print the ID, name, and the hire date without printing the payment, and then the days. So you are telling that to just to print the ID and the name and the date in the super constructor, and in the subclass constructor you call the super class plus the days and the payment. It's see, it's no problem if you change the arrangement. It does not matter, or it is no problem if it follows your method. It does not matter. Overall, what we get is the toString should display as all the variables of the object. Clear? No problem. No problem. No problem if one is changing the arrangement. It does not matter. Or if one is changing the superclass constructor, it does not matter, because at the end what we need in the toString method, in the toString, why we are writing the toString is to present the string representation of the object. So if you are writing the object string representation with its full information, it does not matter. Either you do either of the way. You either you use the payment, display the payment here or in the superclass. Yeah. Then class 6 has to override the calculate. This class has to override the calculate payment and do the calculation as such, payment into number of days. What is the payment and the number of days? Again, the same thing. You are required to copy and paste the code. Moving ahead, then evening employee class. Again, it is same as the morning employee class. Okay, which is again inherit the employee class, and it has one variable, that is hour. Here you had the variable called day, and here you have the variable called hour. Okay, the hours is represented here, and the same thing what you did in the morning employee class, you need to do the same thing in the evening employee class, except that instead of days you have hours here. Rest of the specification is same. What you do in the morning, just copy and paste it over here. Instead of days, here you need the hours, and the toString also include the hours. Okay, and of course override the calculate payment because it is an abstract, and make the payment as payment into hours. Okay, instead of day it is hours. Okay, then finally develop a class called team with the following specification. Here you need to use the sets, okay, or the collection. Okay, now here the class has a private instance variable called hash set of employees, that is a set of employee objects, okay, which represent a collection of employee of a class. So there are two different employees. One is the morning employee, the other is the evening employee. Okay, so this hash set will have morning and evening employees. The hash set will have the morning and the evening employees. The class has a count all class variable. Class variable, it means it is a static variable. Yeah, this class, the team class has a static variable that keep track of the current number of objects that will be added to the collection. How many objects are added to the collection? You need to decide the correct place to be able to increment it once the instance object is added to the collection. So where you are adding the object, after you create the object, you are going to add the object to the set. So when you add the object, you increment the counter. A counter all plus plus, or plus plus of counter all. How many employees? This will count how many employees, or in the sense how many objects are added to the set. Yeah, in the whole. Yeah, for the evening and the morning. Now in this set you are going to add the evening and morning employees. Okay. Now when you add, for example, one evening and one morning, so it is counter is 2, because one evening you increment it. Okay, and then one morning you increment, again you add one morning, increment. Every time you add an object, you are going to increment it plus 1. Yeah. Then the class has a zero argument constructor that creates and initialize the hash set instance object. Okay. The class has add morning employees to the team object. Now here you are going to add the morning employee. After you add the morning employee, you are going to increment it. Okay. Then class has a public method with add evening employee object. So after you add this evening object, you are going to, yeah, increment the counter. Then the class implement the comparable interface from the myLibrary package, and you are required to implement the body of the methods. There are different methods in the comparable interface that you have to implement, that is print all, save to file, calculate payment average. These three methods you should implement in your class team. Yeah, call them and write the code for them. Now what the code you have to write is given here. The class has to override the print all, which return either a string representation of the hash set of the items and all its different types of employees as a string, or that no employees are available. If there is no employees added to the hash set, if the hash set is empty, you check if the hash set is empty, then you print a message that no employees are available. If it is not empty, you take every object, okay, and display the objects. No, in all days and evening and morning employees. So you have to check for the all employees, not only for. So better is you check the hash set is empty or not. If it is not empty, you do display. If it is empty, you just say no employees are available. Okay. Then save to file. This you have to save all the employees to the file, to a file which will take the string, the file name or the object of the file. The class has to override the save to file string, which is over here, save to file, which will take the file name, okay, and which save all the hash set collection into a text file. The name of the file is sent as an argument to the method. Okay, it should reuse the print all method. That is, it should call the print all method and print all those to the file. Then the class has to override. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the class has to. Yeah, the class has to overwrite the double calculate full payment average or this one, okay, and now it has to calculate and return the average of full payment of all items in the hash set. That is, you take the payments of all the objects, add it together and divide by the number of objects and return that average. Okay, this is about, yes. Okay, thank you. Moving ahead to the 4.6, develop a public class test team. The following specification: you are required to declare and create my team as an instance of class team for this class. When you create an object of this class team, you are required to declare and create and fill two instance object of morning employee, and then required to fill them and add them to the my team. Instead object of morning employee, you have the morning employee class, create the object of it, and set their properties, set this id, name, and the hire date and everything, and also the evening employee, set its properties. Okay, two objects. uh, and then you are required to display all items in my team on the screen. Then you print all the morning employees and the all four, two morning and two evening employees from the hash set, and then you are required to calculate and display the average of the full payment by calling this method. Okay, and you are required to save all the items into the into a file by calling this method save to file, and you are required to display the counter of all items in my team, so you have to call this variable counter all. Okay, this will display the team. Yes. No, it will not come in the same line. You can use, no, you can use a slash n escape character to move it to the line by line. Yeah. Or else, you can use what is the function you are using to print to the file? Print writer. Yeah. Then no problem. It's okay. And if it is, if you cannot use it, then it's okay. No problem. Okay. Finally, you need to. There are two methods or the ways to access the libraries in Java. One is by using the import, another is by using the full name. That you have to describe here with the example. What are the two methods to access the libraries? By import or by using the full name? Sorry? Yeah, it is a essay question. And then here you need to explain the methods you used from each library in all the above classes. In the file. Now here you are required to explain which method you used for each library in the above classes in all part from 1 to 4 and why. Use the following in the table. You have to describe from which class, the library name, in which class, for example in part 1, part 2 class, or in part 3 class, or in the employee class. Okay, in these classes, in which class you have called any method from the library classes. So you have to mention, for example in part 1 you are calling the method called get digit or get letter. So that method you are calling from which class? No, don't go for the scanner and input output. Just give the classes from the library what is given to you in the package. In the package, what is there are two libraries given to you in the package. Those are the my library and pk1. From these packages there are some classes. From these classes you have called some methods. You called for example two methods, three methods. Why you, in which class you called? In part 2 class or part 3 class or part 4 class? No, the name of the class. You write the name of the class in which class. For example, you take this one, part 2. In part 2, you are calling the methods get character. I'm sorry, get letter or get digit. Okay, so that you are calling from which in part 2 class. So you write the part 2 class. Part 2, the class, the first column, you write part 2 class part 2 dot java. Okay, and from which library you are calling it. Library name is my library or pk1. Library name of the class and the method are same, they are not different. You no problem, you mentioned that library. It will not make long. You are using few methods. You are calling the methods. Maslan, forget about this one. See, you are from the secret code library. You are calling. You are using these methods, right? Get letter and get digit. Get letter and get digit. So you are using get letter and get digit in part2.java. So you write it is in which package, which library. It is my library. So you write here part2.java from my library. You use the method get digit. Okay, and why you use the method this get digit? To get the digits of the character. And the same thing in the part2.java, you from the my library you call get letter. And why you call this get letter? To get the letter of the particular digit. Like this you need to fill. Yeah. See, whether it is in the same library or it is in not in the same library does not matter. You just give the name of the library, the method which is used, and why you use this method. Forget about which library it is. You just write the name of the library, whether it is in my library or it is in the PK1. Just these two. Okay. So if you have any more questions, you can ask. Then you make the necessary changes in it. Anyways, see, if you sit with an interest, inshallah, you can solve this one. You go one by one. It looks big, okay, but